Stop leaning back, stop leaning back.
It would seem pretty clear to anyone living in today's day and age that computer technology and computer use has drastically increased in the last few years. Just walking to any public library, college, or university, or even just looking behind me, finding a computer itself could be a chore. But why is that? Why has internet use become so dependent on job searching, networking, and just daily life in general? I'm Dexter Arruda, and I'm here to talk about that today. We're here in the F-Wing at Mohawk College, where all media broadcasting takes place, and we're about to interview some of our own professors.
So Ross, how do you think the internet has affected job searching in the television industry?
I think the internet's affecting job search in a lot of positive ways, but it's also created a lot more competition. It's opened a lot of doors for places, like if you're in an isolated area, you can now search for jobs in major city areas in other countries. And other locations, which makes life a lot easier when you're doing a job search. There's also a lot of online communities now that really help people looking for people in different disciplines find you. So like things like LinkedIn and even Facebook communities can help for employers to find you in whatever discipline you're strong in. Where this helps is, and how these communities works are it's all linked together, so you know somebody that you've worked with before. Okay, so you've worked with a company before. Another company knows of that company and can go online and see that they've worked for you, what your discipline is, they recommend you, and they endorse you. This has opened a lot of doors to help find work and to help employers find the kind of employees that they're looking for. So it's really changed the playing field a lot that way. And as I said, also it helps with a lot of overseas and out-of-country work now, where it was much more difficult to actually talk to the right person, let's say, or get the information just because you didn't know who to talk to and you didn't know what options were out there. Whereas now you can go online into these different chat groups and find out what's available, who to talk to, and get your resume and whether it be your LinkedIn group, right to that person. So it's opened doors for you to go overseas and outside of the country a lot more as well.
In the student world, the internet is everyone's portal to the world.
So tell us what you think about how the internet has affected networking in the television industry.
The internet and the television industry, social networking, is a central element of the television industry now. It is not television. As a screen is still the first screen of entertainment, of media, of information, right? Because everything is still spinning off of that. That is our still main source. But now the internet has become not only an analytical part of it, or also giving us what they call the 360 of television, right? With giving us more of what we want to see. Above and beyond that, we are now building an audience through social networking. That is now the key strategy. And in fact, audience interaction has now become a mode of guiding the creative. Whereas before, Nielsen ratings, Lord knows how long that's going to last now, right? Because there's relevance, but then I'm starting to wonder how long is that relevance going to last? They must have some kind of a plan. I don't know what they're going to do. But having just come back from NATPE, the television conference, showrunners, for example, from Walking Dead actually talk to their audience now. Twitter has become a major influence on the actual content of the show. Not the Twitter program, but the people who are talking to them on Twitter. They're taking it seriously. They do have a plan for their show, but they need to also gauge where their audiences are at, and that helps guide the show in some ways. It's really incredible how this is changing television like it's never been that way before. Launching new properties, even on internet, yes, you're getting the alternative to television, but at the same time, the only way they build the audience is one by one. It is the audience has become the marketing executives of new content that rises in the internet on YouTube and on specialty, what they call channels on the internet. There is a new buzz going around they're calling it the cableization of the internet, which is now people are finding their niches within the digital world, and when cable became what it is now, it was finding what its voice is, and the voice turned out to be a variety of niche channels. Right. The similar thing is happening to the internet. It's having its own flavor. So when they say the cableization of internet, they're talking about the niche programming. But the internet has its own flavor and its own way of building it, and it's not based on subscription in the same way that cable is. Cable is based on financial subscription, whereas the internet is based on basically how many eyeballs do you have, and the monetization is still open on how you're going to do that.
So Brian, how do you think the internet has affected pitching shows to networks?
Now that the internet is so popular, sites like Vimeo and YouTube, I'm sure lots of people have gotten shows or become famous, like Justin Bieber, by performing and putting their performances or their shows, their ideas on the internet. So definitely it's a great venue, a great way for producers and students alike to become known and to get some of their work out there.
Well, that was definitely some interesting feedback we got. This is your host, Extra Arudis, signing off. Mohawk News.